In the heart of South Asia, a nation was born out of a quest for a separate Muslim homeland. This is the story of Pakistan. Carved out in 1947, Pakistan was a nation stitched together by more than 20 languages and 300 dialects. It was a mosaic of cultures, struggling to define a national identity. As the years rolled on, the differences between these cultures became more pronounced. The Eastern Territory, unable to reconcile its identity with the larger nation, broke away. The year was 1971, and with it, Bangladesh emerged as a new nation. Amidst this regional tension, a debate raged between Islamic and secular governance. The nation was on a precipice, trying to find a balance between its religious identity and the secular demands of modern governance. In the midst of these regional tensions and debates between Islamic and secular governance, Pakistan's political history began to unfold. From 1947 to 1958, Pakistan's political scene was marked by a lack of direct elections at the national level. During these initial years of independence, the nation grappled with defining its identity amidst a plethora of over 20 languages and 300 dialects, leading to regional tensions and difficulties in forming a constitution. The absence of direct elections at the national level during this time period was a significant point of contention. It wasn't until 1951, a full 4 years after Pakistan's birth, that the first direct elections were held. But they weren't national, they were for the Provincial Assembly of Punjab, a single province among many. This was a time of experimentation, of trial and error, as the young nation sought to establish a political framework that could accommodate its diverse citizenry. However, these early years were also marred by allegations of rigging and fraud during elections. These accusations cast a long shadow over the political landscape of Pakistan, setting a precedent that would recur in many future elections. This period was riddled with accusations of rigging and fraud, setting a precedent for many future elections. The 1970s saw a significant shift in Pakistan's political landscape with the first general election after independence. It was a monumental moment, marking the commencement of a journey towards democracy. The election was a pivotal event, which unfortunately led to a series of severe consequences, including the Bangladesh Liberation War. This era was marked by intense political struggle, as the divergent results of the election fueled regional tensions. The election had been a beacon of hope, but its aftermath sparked a bitter conflict that led to the painful separation of East Pakistan, culminating in the establishment of Bangladesh in 1971. However, the dark clouds of turmoil had a silver lining. The aftermath of the Liberation War brought back the light of democracy to the country. It was a time of healing and rebuilding, a time to rise from the ashes of conflict and division. The country, now smaller but more determined, had a new chance to build a democratic system. In 1985, Pakistan took a significant step towards this goal by holding non-partisan general elections. It was an attempt to put the country back on the path of democracy, to let the people's voice be heard without the influence of political parties. This was a crucial milestone in Pakistan's political history, an affirmation of the country's commitment to democratic governance. Thus, despite the tumultuous start to the decade, the 1970s marked a significant shift towards democracy in Pakistan. The journey was not easy, and the challenges were many, but the nation's resilience and commitment to democratic principles shone through. The 1980s ended on a hopeful note, with democracy taking root in the country. The seeds sown in this era would go on to shape the political landscape of Pakistan in the decades to come. The 1990s was a decade of flux for Pakistan's politics. In the heart of this vibrant decade, two general elections held in 1990 and 1993 brought a whirlwind of change to the political landscape. The power alternated between different parties, each with their unique agendas and visions for the nation. Among the key players was the charismatic Benazir Bhutto, who graced the Prime Minister's office twice during this period. Bhutto's tenure was a mixed bag of significant successes and formidable challenges. Her government witnessed economic growth, increased focus on women's rights, and strides in the education sector. However, it wasn't all smooth sailing. Bhutto faced accusations of corruption and struggled with managing the country's deep-seated regional tensions. Despite these obstacles, her leadership left an indelible mark on Pakistan's political saga. The roller-coaster ride of the 1990s culminated in the 1997 general elections. The Pakistan Muslim League, N, emerged victorious, gaining a majority in the National Assembly. The party's win marked the end of a turbulent decade and set the stage for a new chapter in Pakistan's political narrative. As the millennium approached, Pakistan's political scene was as dynamic as ever. The decade had been a crucible of change, shaping the country's politics in profound ways. The echoes of the 1990s continue to reverberate in the corridors of power, reminding us of a decade that truly transformed Pakistan's political landscape. The new millennium brought fresh challenges and changes to Pakistan's political landscape. As we entered the early 2000s, Pakistan faced a new era under the rule of General Pervez Musharraf. In 2002, Musharraf held general elections, a move that was met with substantial opposition. This opposition was largely due to his support for the US war in Afghanistan, a contentious issue that divided the nation and its political parties. Then came the 2008 general elections, marking a significant shift in the country's political dynamics. The Pakistan People's Party, or PPP, and the Pakistan Muslim League, N, known as PML, N, emerged as the major players, gaining substantial support from the electorate. The PPP's victory in these elections was a testament to its resilience, having been founded by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in the 1970s and surviving the execution of its founder and the assassination of its charismatic leader, Benazir Bhutto. The 2013 elections, however, saw another shift with the PML-N emerging victorious. Led by Nawaz Sharif, the party won a majority in the National Assembly, marking Sharif's third non-consecutive term as Prime Minister. But this victory was not without controversy. Allegations of vote rigging and election fraud tainted the results, casting a long shadow over the political landscape. These elections, with their victories and controversies, reflect the tumultuous journey of democracy in Pakistan. They highlight the struggles, the power shifts, and the ongoing debates that have been part and parcel of Pakistan's political evolution. Despite these challenges, one thing remains clear: the resolve of the Pakistani people to shape their political future. They continue to participate in the electoral process, braving threats, violence, and allegations of fraud, all in the name of democracy. Despite the ongoing challenges, the resolve of the Pakistani people to shape their political future remains unbroken. Pakistan's political history is a testament to its people's resilience and desire for self-governance. As we've seen, the nation has navigated a complex journey since its inception in 1947. The early years were marked by instability, regional conflicts, and the struggle to define a national identity amidst a wealth of languages and dialects. The turning point came with the move towards democracy, marked by the establishment of the National Assembly and the Senate, the elected bodies that form the backbone of Pakistan's political structure today. The nation has held several general elections since the first one in 1970, each with its own unique challenges and triumphs. However, the path hasn't always been smooth. Accusations of rigging and fraud have often marred elections, and debates between Islamic and secular governance continue to shape the nation's political landscape. Yet, despite these challenges, Pakistan's political narrative continues to evolve. Each election, each change in leadership contributes to the ongoing story of a nation striving to balance its diverse regional interests with the broader goal of national unity and progress. From its birth in 1947 to the present day, Pakistan continues to evolve, shaping its unique political narrative in the heart of South Asia.